When you think of the word genocide, you think of mass killings of a specific group of people, such as the Rwandan genocide, the Holocaust, or the Armenian genocide. The Australian stolen generations was considered a genocide, but it was different from others. In this particular one, Aboriginal children were being taken from their parents by English colonists. Let's start from the beginning. Australia was a penal colony from 1788 to 1868, meaning that's where Britain sent convicts. In 1788, the first boat of convicts was sent to Australia in Camp Cove to establish the very first British colony in Australia. With no doubt, the Aboriginal people clashed with the settlers upon their arrival. This specific board created laws in order to control the Aborigines' lives. The goal of these colonists were to get rid of Australian Aborigines by indirectly killing them. If they could control the procreation amongst Aborigines, then they would be able to dilute the race to a point where it was like they never existed. The Chief Protector of Aborigines in Western Australia, A.O. Neville, decided that his strategy would be to separate half-blooded Aborigines, or half-castes, from full-blooded Aborigines. These half-European descent and half-Indigenous descent children were often referred to with derogatory terms, such as octoroons, quadroons, and half-bloods. In order to control procreation, the Aboriginal Protection Board created two acts. One was enacted in 1869, while the other in 1915. The first one was established in 1869. It was called the Aboriginal Protection Act. It ensured that the government had full control over the Indigenous people and everything pertaining to them. This included what profit the colonists made from Aboriginal labor, how much money went to the Aboriginals, and the care and education of their children. The Aborigines Protection Amending Act was enacted in 1915, approximately 45 years after the Aboriginal Protection Act. The reasoning behind this act was to allow the board to assume full control of any Aboriginal child if they are seen as neglected. Many Aboriginal children that were taken away from their families were put in schools where they were learned to read, write, and practice Christianity. This is another example of Aboriginal children in their Christian schools. By 1940, the Aborigines Protection Board lost its power to take Indigenous children away from the families, and the Aborigines Protection Board was officially demolished by 1969. Despite the denial, the government created a national holiday that was established to commemorate and apologize to the stolen generations of Australia. This was known as Sorry Day, and it takes place on May 26th. Sorry Day is still being honored now in present-day Australia, and it will continue for years to come.